Today is Monday, May 16th, 2016. I'm sitting here having my little protein shake and a cup of coffee. So, I keep having to deal with a lot of... I've lived in Atlanta since 1989, so I've been here for a long period of time. I've been here almost 27 years, dealing with black, gay men since I arrived here. And many years ago, I noticed that there was something off about a lot of these gay guys. Now, I deal with a lot of segments of society. I deal with straight people. I deal with straight black guys. I deal with white people. I deal with white straight guys. I deal with Jews. I deal with Mexicans. I had a construction company for 20 years. And with that construction company, I dealt with a lot of Hispanics, men and women, various races, a lot of people. I've dealt with a lot of people. But when I've dealt with my dealings with black gay men, there's a serious issue of these guys suffering from mental illness. And I noticed that when I first moved here in 1989, I said something's off about a lot of these guys that I'm dealing with. And I couldn't exactly put my finger on it. And sometimes I'm thinking, well, maybe it's me, maybe I'm just different. And then over the years, I really realized, no, Walter, it isn't you, it's these guys. These guys are suffering from some very bizarre. And I think the reason why so many black gay men suffer from mental illness is that it's so difficult living in America being black and as a black person, period, and then you throw in being a homosexual. Something that many of us did not choose to be. So you have family members who are anti-gay. You have a church environment that is extremely anti-gay. You have a black society at large, which is then they're anti-gay. So you have all this stuff working against you, and it begins to take its toll inside these men's heads. Now, in the early 90s, when I realized that things were getting going awry in my life, I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, and that religion had a huge impact on my life, even to this day. So, when I realized that things were not going the way I wanted to in the early 90s, I sought the help of a psychiatrist and mental health professional, and I paid for it out of pocket. Insurance did not cover that. And I remember going through these sessions, and my God, I mean, it was the most rewarding thing I could have ever paid for. When I look back on that, all the expensive cars and houses and homes I own, the money I spent on various things, the most valuable item I ever purchased was getting my brain together to make me stronger to deal with the world that we live in. I dealt with a guy, and I've been trying to reach out to him recently, but I can't seem to track him down. This was 20 years ago, close to 20 years ago. And it was like 90, I started seeing him in 92, and I saw, 93, because I bought that house in 1993, from 93, in the fall of 93, and I saw him for about 2 years. And it was the most rewarding experience ever. Because I learned about what it meant to be black and gay. And dealing with religion, society, people at large, family members. I didn't have half the problems a lot of these guys come from. My family was for the most part, very accepting of my sexuality. I couldn't imagine what it would be like coming from a home where I had a mother who was anti-gay or a father who was anti-gay or, I don't know those elements. So when I look at these black gay men in Atlanta, where I deal with most of them, or through YouTube or the internet, the first thing I have to say is, okay, I know that they're dealing with some issues that have significantly affected them mentally. So when these guys start attacking me, I just kind of look at them, and you can listen to their conversation. You can figure out where their issues in life are and why they are so angry and bitter. So many of these black gay guys have never experienced love. They've experienced sex, a whole hell of a lot of sex, They don't know what love is because they've never been in a loving relationship. They don't even think that they can even obtain a loving relationship. So when you take love out of the equation, they didn't get love from their family members. They didn't get love at the church. They didn't get love through society. Now they didn't get love from another man. And it has a significant effect in their minds. It makes these guys very angry, very bitter, very mad. And then you throw in HIV. Now you've got a storm that's out of control. And you've given them a weapon. A dangerous weapon if in the wrong hands. So you wonder why so when you're dealing with mental illness and mentally ill people who are not seeking help, that's another issue here. The vast majority of these black gay men who need to be under the care of a psychiatrist, they don't even know they have a problem. They don't even know it. So they don't even know that there's something wrong with them. They don't know they don't realize that they're the issues that's in their life, the issues that they're in their lives. I mean, I used to have a ton of gay friends. I don't do that anymore. The main reason why I distanced myself from so many black gay men because their lives were out of control. There were so many issues and problems just spiraling around them because of them and their choices, their bad choices and decisions and the things that they were doing. And you couldn't tell them nothing. They didn't want to hear anything you had to say. So I began to distance myself from a lot of black gay men. Because I can't deal with it. I have my own issues and problems. I'm going to bring you into my life and all the issues and problems you got. I can't deal with this. This is too much. This is overload. So I began to say, okay, let me back away from these guys and not have so many friends. I have maybe one or two friends today. I have a couple associates. But I can only deal with it so much because their lives are still spiraling out of control. So can't keep a job, can't keep an income, can't keep a relationship, can't pay for a car, can't keep an apartment, there's just so much I'm not lying, you guys. I've seen this over and over and over. They don't know how to be stable. They don't even know what it means to have a stable life, to know that they have a home to come home to. There's so much confusion. Then you mix in drugs, alcohol, sex, HIV. And you got a tornado going on. You got a hurricane, what is it, Chapter 5 hurricane, whatever the highest hurricane level get, Hurricane 5, whatever. And it tears their lives apart. And eventually they end up, because of all the confusion, the drama, all this stuff takes a toll on them, and they end up dead. But if they had sought help, a lot of these issues they wouldn't have. All this stuff compiles and then it just builds up and it turns into this huge storm in these guys' lives. And they don't even see it coming until it's too late. I look at so many friends of mine who passed away over the years and say that person didn't have to die. They could be alive and well today had they just went and got the proper help they needed to help them get through life. And when you try to direct these guys to go get the help that they need, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear nothing. You can't even show them what to do. You can't even take them to help. No one could take me to help. I had to take me to help. I had to resolve the issues in my head myself. I realized something's not right here. And I had to take control of my life. And I had to go get professional help for me to resolve my issues. I didn't need someone to intervene on me. I did my own intervention. And I did this years ago. So I look around our community, I see these same problems. It's so interesting because, some people I've known for years. I have a friend I've known for over 20 years. The man it's a nightmare. We used to be close friends, but I had to back away from that. because it was just too much. And even now, his life is still full of confusion and mayhem. And I just sit back and say, this man still don't get it. And he's 50-something years of age. He's still caught up in something that's beyond his control, but something that he can control and fix. And he said, why won't you come around? Dear, I can't come around this foolishness. I can't be caught up in your sexual addiction, your drug problem, your drinking issues, your income problems, your lack of job problems. I can't get caught up in all this mess. Because the only person who can get hurt by this shit is me. So it's best that I stay across town and wave at you from a distance. It's not being mean. I just can't get involved in this stuff. I would love to have a group of friends around me. I'd love to have some black gays sitting around here that I can talk and laugh with, we can play cards and do stuff with. But I've learned it doesn't work that way. With these people that you let in your life come, you also open the door to confusion, mayhem, depression, angry, sexual, all this stuff. And I can't deal with it anymore. I'm too old. I like to come home and have me a little drink. This ain't a vodka and cranberry though. This is just strawberries, blueberries, and egg whites, ice, and a little bit of orange, just a little bit to sweeten up. But I just came from the gym and I did 2 hours worth of cardio. You know, that shit almost killed my ass at that damn gym. I'm going to take care of Walter. I'm going to take care of my health, physically and mentally. I'm going to take care of my health. I'm going to eat and drink right. And I'm going to have me some damn coffee. You better believe that. I'm not perfect. I'm not going to tell no lie. I'm not a perfect person. I'm not looking for perfection. Because not perfect, it doesn't exist. But I realize in our community, we have a great deal of problems that can be fixed. And it starts here in our minds. Mental health treatment should be the number one priority with black gay men. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're 18 or 50. Mental health treatment should be number one because of the world we live in, the pressures we face as black gay men. I can go on and on about this subject because I think this is something that's especially dear to my heart because I know there are answers to these questions from these problems, but it starts here for us. It starts in our minds. Getting the proper help, the proper treatment, the proper mental health treatment, whatever needs psychiatric help that you need to get you on a solid footing to have a normal life as a proud black gay man. Anyway, I'm out of here. Like I said, today is Monday. It's the 16th. This month is flying by. Monday, May 16, 2016. I'm out. Enjoy your Monday.